Asgard's fury. In the vast blue depths of the ocean, there are dazzling coral reefs, colorful schools of fish, and strange creatures amidst ever-changing currents. On this day, two energetic young royal angelfish chased each other amongst the swaying anemones, their jewel-like scales shimmering in the filtered sunlight. Steve shouted loudly, "You can't catch me, you can't catch me." He quickly flicked his tail fin to dart away from his brother. Dave grumbled angrily, "No fair, you got a head start." Then he immediately sped up. Though younger than Steve, Dave always wanted to swim faster than his big brother. They wove in and out of the coral, dodging the swaying fronds of macroalgae and tube sponges. An anemone crab scuttled out of their way, waving its big claws and complaining, "Be careful, you almost bumped into me." But Steve and Dave were too absorbed in their game to hear. Steve taunted, "You're too slow." He swerved around a brain coral, nearly colliding with a passing cleaner shrimp. "Whoops, sorry." The shrimp shook her head, muttering to herself, "Crazy kids." Then she continued on her way. Just as Dave was about to tap Steve's tail, a loud voice suddenly rang out, "Children, be careful and stay close." It was their father coming to look after his rambunctious sons. Though he tried to sound stern, an amused smile still crept onto his face. "Yes, Dad," the brothers chorused together. Their father was a handsome fish, his purple and yellow striped body sleek and strong, which made him look very cool. "Time for dinner," he told the boys. "Go gather your sisters and meet back home." "Okay," Dave said, always eager for a meal. "Come on, Steve." The two young fish swam into the deeper parts of the reef, looking for their sisters. They found one amongst a patch of soft coral, chatting with a group of banded shrimp. "Sarah, Dad says it's time to eat." Sarah turned, a smile blossoming on her cute face. "Great, I'm starving." "Where's Lily?" "Not sure, let's check the sponges," Steve said, angling toward the looming labyrinth of tube sponges ahead. The sponges provided many nooks and crannies for young fish to hide and play in. The three siblings swam along the edge of the sponge network, peeking into openings. "Lily," they called. "Where are you?" "Time to eat." A little voice piped up from one of the tubes near the top. "Coming." Their smallest sister Lily emerged into view, with a blood shrimp clinging to her tail. "Oh, he followed me home. Can I keep him?" Lily asked, turning big pleading eyes on her siblings. Dave laughed, "I don't think so. Mom would freak out." Sarah kindly told Lily, "Say bye to your new friend." Looking crestfallen, Lily waved a fin at the tiny shrimp. "Bye-bye." The shrimp clicked its claws and drifted away on the current. With all four kids gathered, they headed for home. Their parents awaited them in the family cave, tucked into the side of a rocky outcrop draped with purple and yellow sponge. Inside was cozy and filled with their favorite seagrass nests. "You're all back, come rest up. Dinner is almost ready," their mother's melodic voice said. After a bit, their father swam in carrying an armful of kelp. "Eat up, kids, fresh yummy kelp today." "Hooray, my favorite!" Lily squeaked. The family settled in to happily enjoy their dinner together, chatting about their day. After filling up on the tasty kelp, Dave let out a big yawn. A whole day of play and a full belly made him very sleepy. After dinner, their mom gently nudged the 4 drowsy children to their rooms, saying time for little fish to go to bed. She began singing a lullaby, her voice drifting gently through the cave. Lay your sleepy fins down, the currents will rock you to sleep. The moon's silver glow will light your way through the night, just close your tired eyes and dream. One by one the children drifted off to the gentle waves outside their home, comforted by their parents' watchful presence close by. The next morning, bright and early, the kids popped out of bed and chorused, "Morning Daddy and Mommy." Their father announced, "Time for breakfast. We have stew today." He began handing out bowls filled with plump pink shrimp and kelp. Dave peered into his bowl. "Stew again," he complained. "How come we don't have octopus anymore?" Their father loved hunting octopuses, but they hadn't had any in a long time. Their mother explained, "Octopuses have been scarce lately. Every time Asgard gets angry, everyone gets too scared to stay." The children exchanged uneasy glances. They knew she was talking about Asgard, the underwater volcano that had become active not too far away. Even Asgard's minor eruptions that sent plumes of fiery lava and debris raining down heated up the water to uncomfortable levels. So some deep-sea creatures had completely abandoned the area and moved somewhere else. Sarah asked nervously, "Is Asgard going to keep erupting?" "No need to worry," their mother soothed. "We're far enough away here. Now hurry and eat breakfast." Reassured, the kids gulped down their shrimp stew. Soon they were ready to go play. "We're going to the sponge tunnels," Steve told their parents. "Have fun. And remember, stay close to the reef," their mother called after them as they zipped away. She felt safer when they stayed in familiar territory rather than venturing too far out over open water. The 4 siblings raced to see who could reach the sponges first. "I win!" Steve exclaimed, touching a tube sponge seconds before Dave. "Good race," Dave panted. "Let's play hide and seek." "I'll hide first." He quickly swam off to find a good spot while the others closed their eyes and counted. Dave found a nice shadowy spot beneath an overhang and wriggled in. "Gotta make sure they can't see my stripes," he thought. After counting, the others fanned out amongst the sponges to search. "Found you, Dave!" Sarah shouted triumphantly a few minutes later after spotting a flash of yellow and purple. "Oh man, I need a better hiding spot," Dave huffed. The games continued, each brother or sister taking turns hiding while the others sought them out. Their delighted squeaks and laughter filled the reef. After Steve had a turn hiding, it was nearly impossible for the others to find him. Where could he be? Lily wondered aloud. They had searched all over the sponge labyrinth and turned up nothing. "Steve, this is too good of a hiding place," Sarah called out, exasperated. Just then, a noisy commotion arose from the direction they had come. The kids could hear adult fish yelling anxiously. "Should we swim away too?" Dave asked worriedly. Before they could investigate, Steve came shooting out from his hiding spot inside a crack in the reef wall. "Hurry, I saw it. Asgard is angry again. His face was streaked with ash and his eyes were huge. We have to get home right now. The others froze for a moment, then took off after Steve back towards the cave. As they approached, the water grew warmer and fiery debris rained down around them. Their home came into view, but to their horror a tumbling wall of rock sealed the entrance, trapping their parents inside. Mom, Dad! The children cried, rushing to strain against the rock pile. But it was no use. It's too heavy, we can't move it, Lily whimpered. It's so hot here, we have to get further from Asgard, we can't stay in this area. Everyone knew she was right, it was too dangerous to linger. With despairing looks back at their buried home, the siblings fled Asgard's heaving fury. The reef had become chaotic. Fish of all kinds swarmed in a panicked rush to escape the billowing ash clouds rolling forth. Stay together! Steve yelled. They huddled close, fighting not to be swept away in the crowds. The ash soon made it hard to see or breathe. Blindly they pushed onward, hoping to reach clearer water. But in the confusion they became separated, Steve and Sarah together, Dave and Lily pushed another direction. Dave! Steve cried out, but his brother had disappeared from view. He and Sarah had no choice but to keep going. Dave clung tightly to Lily as they were buffeted about by the surging fish. It's okay, just hang on to me, he told his frightened sister. At last they broke free of the crowds into an open area. Steve and Sarah got lost. Lily wailed. Dave hugged her close, though he was scared himself. It'll be okay. We just need to get somewhere safe. Keeping tight hold of Lily, Dave swam them both towards sunlight glinting up ahead. To their relief they burst forth into clean, clear water, Asgard's fury left behind below. Catching their breath at the surface, they scanned the open ocean. No sign of land or shelter for miles. Dave's heart sank. How would they survive out here alone? Just then, a rushing shape hurtled up toward them from below, knocking Dave sideways. Lily screamed as she was torn from his grasp. No! Lily! Dave spun to see a huge, open-mouthed shark bearing down on them again. Lily was gripped in its jaws. Fury and terror overcoming him, Dave bashed himself fiercely against the shark's face. Let her go. He felt sharp teeth graze his sides but didn't care. Again and again he rammed the shark with all his might. Finally, after shaking its head in frustration, the shark released Lily, turning its attention fully on Dave. He felt its jaws clamp down, rows of teeth sinking into his flesh, when suddenly a force struck them. The shark released Dave and thrashed wildly as the clown triggerfish, Moorish idol, and other fish banded together and began stabbing it repeatedly with their sharp fins and teeth. Dave and Lily hovered in stunned relief nearby as the shark fled from the raging group attacking it. Though injured, the siblings were able to swim clear. As quickly as they had come to the rescue, the brave fish scattered and disappeared. Lily nuzzled weakly against her brother. You saved me, she whispered. Dave hugged her tightly, beyond grateful they had both made it through the terrible ordeal safely. But they were still lost and alone. As Dave rested, trying to recover strength, a butterflyfish with kind eyes settled near them. You poor things, you look so battered. Let's get you some help. He called over some mantis shrimp who set to work patching up Dave and Lily's wounds with fragments of shell and seagrass. Feeling much improved, the siblings thanked the butterfly fish and shrimp profusely for their kindness. Of course, us reef creatures need to look after one another, the butterfly fish said. My name's Buddy. Why don't you come with me? I know some nice holes in the reef you can rest in while you heal. Too exhausted to refuse, Dave and Lily let Buddy lead them slowly downward. The mantis shrimp cleared debris from empty burrows and nestled the kids comfortably inside. They were soon fast asleep, the terror of the day's events fading away for a little while. Elsewhere, lost and frightened, Steve and Sarah slowly picked their way across a barren, rocky stretch of seafloor. Escape from Asgard had led them into unfriendly territory. I don't see anyone who can help us, Steve said hopelessly. He ached from bruises and his gills burned from the ash. Sarah choked back a sob. What if we can't find the others? She couldn't bear the thought of losing her beloved siblings. And were their parents even still alive? The awful uncertainty ate at her. It's going to be okay, Steve tried to reassure his sister, though he couldn't quell the uneasy doubts within himself. We just need to keep going. On they swam, calling out periodically on the slim chance their voices would be heard. Steve was just starting to give up hope when at last he heard his name called back. Steve, Sarah. Over here. It was their mother, emerging from a crevice, their father behind her. Overjoyed, the kids raced to reunite with their parents. Thank goodness you're safe, their mother wept, embracing them tightly. Their father came to nuzzle them, face grave. Where are your brother and sister? He asked. Steve and Sarah's joy evaporated. We got separated when Asgard erupted, Sarah explained tearfully. They're still lost out there, somewhere. Then we must keep searching for them, their father said firmly. Though he and his mate were exhausted and distraught over losing their home, finding the rest of their family was all that mattered now. Together once more, clinging to hope, the angelfish family set out into the unknown. Many days they pressed on, surviving on what meager scraps of food they could find on the way. Each day without the missing siblings weighed heavier and heavier upon them. Steve did his best to reassure the others. Dave's smart and resourceful. He'll take care of Lily. Privately though, he was racked with guilt. He was the oldest brother. He should have looked after the little ones better. What if some tragedy had befallen them? The not knowing was agony. Nearly ready to give up their search, the family decided to make one final push toward a nearby kelp forest. If it offered no sign of Dave and Lily, they would have no choice but to accept the worst and carry on alone. With heavy hearts they journeyed on. Nearing the towering kelp stalks, Steve thought he glimpsed a flash of bright purple in the distance. There it was again, could it be? Dave, he yelled, speeding forward. Lily. Two small bodies came darting through the kelp. Steve. Lily cried. The siblings collided in a tangled embrace, Dave and Sarah quickly joining in. At last the family was joyfully reunited. Dave and Lily shared the story of their harrowing journey. And then these nice fish helped patch us up, Lily told them. We have so many new friends now, Dave added. They're right in these caves. He led them to meet all the fish who had helped him and Lily recover and took them in, the kindly Buddy and his butterflyfish companions, the healing mantis shrimp, a hermit crab named Hermie who told funny stories to lift their spirits, and many more. A diverse collection of seahorses, tangs, triggerfish and others welcomed them. Any family of Dave and Lily's is our family too, Buddy declared warmly. Overwhelmed with gratitude, the reunited angelfish family settled happily into their new undersea community. Together they would forge a new home and a new life, made brighter by friendship. The little angelfish kids had many more adventures in store with their new neighbors. But those tales will have to wait for another night. For now, all are at peace amongst the gently swaying kelp, together at last. All right, kids, today's story ends here. See you next time.